from becoming a crossing guard to driving people around.
I had hoop dreams, but they didn't work out.
These are NBA players with weird jobs.
I worked with James Harden at Walmart, bruh. This is side gear, you feel me?
And Jimmy Butler got his job selling coffee with one goal in mind.
I want to be the world's best barista.
Jimmy's addicted to coffee, having at least 12 cups per day. And back in the NBA bubble, there was no coffee to be found, except for Jimmy's room, because he was the only person in the entire place who brought everything you needed to make a cup of coffee. And he saw an opportunity to make some big money. His $34 million contract wasn't enough, so Jimmy started selling coffee out of his hotel room and called it Big Face. Now this wasn't just any coffee, this was premium coffee, and he sold it for a premium price.
$20.
$20?
$20 a cup. Small, medium, and large, all of it's $20 a cup. So I might bump it up to $30 a cup, just depends. People here can afford it, so ain't nobody complaining.
Now you may think, who is dropping $20 on a single cup of coffee? Well, Jimmy Butler had a plan to finesse everyone.
If I can get people to pay me $20 per cup, eventually they would run out of $20 and they'd have to start paying me with $100 bills. And they pay me $100 bills and I just take and be like, sorry, I don't have any change.
Oh, stop it.
I guess that's one way to get a bag. And it's one thing to hustle multi-million-dollar NBA players, but Jimmy's finessing little girls too.
Well, I know that your coffee is $20, and that is a little too pricey for my dad and me.
No, it's not.
It kind of is. It's kind of expensive. So I'm just asking, I just need to ask you something. Would you mind giving me a coupon for it?
A coupon? We don't have coupons at Big Face Coffee. Prices are going up, so for you it's now $25. For your dad it's $50. So whenever it does open up, make sure that you come no coupon with your $25.
Well, that's a lot of money. I'll try to make that. I'll try.
Now, while Jimmy is busy selling coffee, this next NBA player is busy delivering pizza.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
LeBron James decided to take his talents to Blaze Pizza, and instead of winning a championship, his only goal was to win Employee of the Month.
Let Fernando know about our sauces. Remember the
we got
training?
spicy sauce, we got regular sauce, we got pesto sauce.
Yep.
We got a little white sauce here, so. I mean, I love spicy sauce, but might not be a spicy guy, so.
LeBron turned $1 million into $50 million by investing in Blaze Pizza in 2012, which turned into the fastest growing restaurant chain in the US. There are over 340 Blaze Pizzas in the United States, and LeBron owns 19 of them, which helped make him one of the only athletes to ever make $1 billion. I guess his pizza delivery days are over.
He looks like Dwayne.
Dwayne Wade? I get that a lot.
But instead of delivering pizza, Shaq is delivering people because he got a job as a Lyft driver.
My name is Charles. My name is Pierre. My name is Goose.
Shaq may have been one of the most dominant players ever, dominating on and off the court, winning 4 championships and having a net worth of $400 million. But that doesn't stop him from driving people around and never being better than Kobe.
My favorite Laker player is Kobe. You can't get off the court.
But Shaq and LeBron aren't the only NBA Hall of Famers with weird jobs, because this next NBA player went from being a Hall of Famer to being a crossing guard. Adrian Dantley was the 6th overall pick in the 1976 NBA draft and played in the NBA for 17 years. He was a 6-time All-Star, a 2-time scoring champion, and even got his number retired by the Utah Jazz. So how did he go from making $3.5 million in the NBA to making less than $15K a year, being a crossing guard?
It's not beneath me. You know, I'm a regular guy. I just played basketball. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm a regular guy, and I like working.
After his career in the NBA, he spent some time as an assistant coach for the Denver Nuggets. He could have easily stayed around the NBA, worked his way up to being a head coach, and made millions. But instead he found what he really wanted to do, saving kids' lives.
I definitely saved 2 kids' lives.
The job has meaning.
Oh, it definitely has meaning, and I feel like I'm doing something, helping the community, and it's all about the kids.
But he couldn't stay away from basketball for long, because he may be a crossing guard during the week, but on the weekends, he turns into your local referee.
I've been refereeing now for about 9 years, I think, and I referee during the season.
Going from the NBA to being a crossing guard is one of the weirdest jobs I've ever heard of, but that's not as bad as this next NBA player who had his life ruined because of his addiction.
The addiction to alcohol literally spiraled me out of being one of the top players in the NBA.
within 24 months.
Vin Baker was selected 8th overall in the 1993 NBA draft to the Milwaukee Bucks and played for 13 years, becoming a 4-time NBA All-Star. And he could have been even better, but his downfall was his addiction to alcohol. After averaging 20 points per game 2 years in a row, his alcohol abuse was slowly catching up to him. His athleticism and strength slowly started to fade away. He was selected to be part of Team USA in the year 2000, but that's when his addiction took a turn for the worse. He started filling up his water bottle with alcohol, and his whole body reeked of the smell. It got so bad, he started drinking Listerine just to feed his addiction. He was then traded to the Celtics in 2003, where he'd publicly admit he was an alcoholic, and just a few years later, after bouncing around from team to team, he was out of the league completely. And even though he was now out of the NBA, his struggles were just beginning. During his career, he made over $100 million. For most people, they wouldn't have to work another day in their life, but it only took him a few years to completely lose it all. After hitting rock bottom, it was his former team's owner who pulled him out. Howard Schultz was the owner of the Supersonics and former Starbucks CEO, and he was able to hook Baker up with the job, so he officially became the tallest barista ever. Most people would be embarrassed to go from $100 million to working at Starbucks, but not Vin. He worked his way up, getting to the top of Starbucks management, and in 2018, he finally ended up where he belonged, getting hired as an assistant coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, the same team that drafted him. He went from the 7-footer making you a caramel macchiato to winning an NBA championship.
What people don't realize is that Starbucks job was me on the upswing.
Now, selling coffee is one thing, but when Draymond Green is done playing in the NBA, he's gonna be selling your house.
What you think? I make this look good.
And let's just say, he's a lot better at basketball than he is at selling houses. Why is he making these poor people clap? But one of the best players in the NBA was famous before he ever played in a game. Giannis Antetokounmpo grew up extremely poor. Sometimes I would go to school, no breakfast. Along with him and his 4 brothers, his parents were evicted from almost every house they've had because they couldn't pay the bill. Because they had no money, the brothers were forced to hit the streets and sell any and everything they could to help their parents with the bills. 6 or 7 years old, I was selling watches, glasses, CDs, and DVDs, stuff like that. Whatever we could put our hands on, I did it until I was around 17. But selling on the streets wasn't the only weird job Giannis was up to, because before he was ever famous in the NBA, he was a movie star. In 2012, Giannis was a movie star. Him and his mom had their iconic role in the movie Dead Europe to earn some extra money. I guess if his basketball career doesn't work out, at least he can be an actor. Now, Yao Ming may not have been a famous movie star, but after he retired, his weird job was to save animals that are even taller than him. Yao Ming was a star in the NBA, the best player to ever come from China and one of the tallest players ever at 7'6". He played for 8 years and was an all-star every single one of them, but when he was done playing, he took on a bigger challenge. He was going to save the elephants.
Sad, very, very sad. On the other hand, it's full of life because their life will continue and their life is carried on.
Every single year, 20,000 elephants are killed for their tusks. Tusks are made out of ivory, which is more valuable than gold. It was made for all sorts of stuff like jewelry, and China was the #1 seller in the world, which meant hundreds of thousands of elephants were being murdered. So after his basketball days were over, he took it upon himself to save the giants. It all started in 2006, when Yao realized 70 million sharks were being killed every single year for one of the most popular meals in China, shark fin soup. He appeared in countless commercials and made a documentary calling for everyone to give up the soup, and by 2014, sales declined by 82%, saving thousands of sharks and preventing them from going extinct. And he did the exact same thing for the elephants, banning ivory sales from China in 2017, driving sales and prices down by 60% in just 1 year, potentially saving the entire species. He really went from playing basketball to saving animals. But while Yao Ming was busy saving the animals, Kevin Johnson was busy being the mayor. Kevin was born and raised in Sacramento, California, and after just a few years in college, was drafted 7th overall in 1987 NBA draft to the Cleveland Cavaliers. But just a few months later, was traded to the Phoenix Suns. But it was after he was done playing in the NBA, where he would get a job nobody expected. In March of 2008, Kevin Johnson made a shocking announcement. He returned to his hometown of Sacramento to run for mayor. He served as the 55th mayor of Sacramento for 8 years, from 2008 to 2016, and was the first African American to serve as mayor of Sacramento. Now, this next NBA player may not have been a mayor, but his weird job was playing in the NFL. Nate Robinson is one of the shortest players in NBA history. Standing at 5'9", he played 11 seasons in the NBA, won 3 dunk contests, and even posterized one of the tallest players in NBA history. In high school, he was a standout basketball player, but he was more known for playing football. He went to Washington University on a football scholarship and would end up focusing on basketball instead, but he thinks if he kept up with football, he'd be one of the best players ever. If I really gave it my all and stopped focusing on basketball, gave everything I have on football, I'd probably be one of the best corners the NFL has ever seen. Well, after his NBA career was over, he had one shot to make his dream come true, trying out for the Seattle Seahawks. Although his NFL dream didn't work out, he decided to switch to another sport, boxing. And for his first fight, he got matched up against Jake Paul. But his boxing career was cut short, just like his match against Jake. But instead of getting into boxing, Junior Bridgeman became a billionaire. Bridgeman played 12 years in the NBA, mainly for the Milwaukee Bucks, and throughout his career, he made $4.2 million. However, it was when his NBA career was over that he made all his money. Instead of spending his money on fancy cars, he decided to use the money he made in the NBA to buy a Wendy's. And that one Wendy's is what started his empire. By 2016, he owned 250 Wendy's and 120 Chili's restaurants. His net worth went from $4.2 million to almost $700 million in just a little over 30 years. Now, if you liked NBA players with weird jobs, you need to watch strange things you didn't know about the NBA.